I stared at the pastel invitation in my hand, the delicate pink and gold foil shimmering beneath the kitchen light. "You're invited to Amelia's baby shower." It read, cheerful and innocent, like the moment it carried wasn't about to change my life forever. Amelia had been my best friend for nearly 12 years. We met during college orientation. She wore a hot pink blazer and laughed like nothing in the world could touch her. She was electric. I was drawn to her like everyone else was. Over the years, we'd weathered heartbreaks, promotions, weddings. Everything. So of course, when she called to tell me she was pregnant, I'd screamed with joy. She hadn't said much about the father, just that it was complicated. I didn't press. Amelia had always kept her relationships close to her chest. Still, something about the way she paused when I offered to bring a gift for the dad made me wonder. "I'll handle that part," she had said, her tone distant. "But you and Jacob must come. It wouldn't be right without you two there." I glanced over at Jacob now, who was lounging on the couch, scrolling his phone. My husband of 6 years. Tall, patient, reliable. A software engineer who rarely raised his voice, who knew how I liked my tea, who kissed my forehead before bed. The man I had built a quiet, safe life with. "You sure you want to go?" he asked, noticing my hesitation. "Yeah, of course. It's Amelia." He nodded. "Then I'll be there." I smiled, but something prickled in the back of my mind. The baby shower was beautiful. Held in a glass garden house at a country estate just outside the city. Everywhere I turned, there were soft roses, sparkling drinks, gift baskets, and the sounds of laughter. Amelia stood in the center, radiant in a flowing white dress, her bump gently cradled beneath layers of silk. "You look like a goddess," I told her as I hugged her. She smiled wide. "You came. I knew you would." Jacob stood awkwardly behind me, his hands in his pockets. Amelia's eyes flicked to him. "Jacob," she said, and her smile shifted, just slightly. "Glad you're here." He gave a polite nod. "Congrats again." The party went on with games, small talk, and champagne, for everyone but Amelia. I started to relax, letting myself enjoy the warmth of the event. For a while, it felt like old times, until the moment she stood to give her speech. Amelia tapped her glass with a spoon. "Can I have everyone's attention?" Voices quieted. Phones came up. People smiled, ready to capture the glowing mother-to-be. "I want to thank all of you for coming. Truly, it means the world to me to be surrounded by so much love. This baby was unexpected, but it's already the most important thing in my life." She paused, glancing around the room, and her eyes found mine. They held me there, steady, sharp. And every baby has a story. Mine's no different. I know many of you have asked about the father. I've been silent until now, but today, I want to honor the truth. My stomach nodded. Amelia took a breath. "The father of my baby is Jacob." Laughter, for a moment, fluttered uncertainly around the room, nervous, polite confusion. But Amelia didn't laugh. She just looked at me. A cold, vast silence fell over the garden. My world fractured. "What?" I whispered, my voice barely audible, my mouth suddenly dry. She stepped forward. "I'm sorry, Lila. I never wanted to do this like this, but I couldn't lie anymore. You deserve the truth." I turned to Jacob. His face was pale. Blank. "No," I said, backing away. "No. Tell me this is some sick joke." He opened his mouth, then closed it. His lips trembled. I didn't mean for it to happen," he said. Something inside me broke. I felt like I was falling through the floor. People whispered. Phones lowered. Eyes darted away. I was humiliated, betrayed, exposed, all in one moment, under that fragile glass roof. How long? I asked him, my voice shaking. How long were you sleeping with her? Jacob looked like he was going to throw up. It was one time. After your dad's funeral. You were so far away. I was hurting. I didn't know what I was doing. I laughed, sharp, ugly. So your grief gave you permission to FK my best friend? Amelia stepped closer. We didn't plan this, Lila. But it happened. And I didn't want to lie to you. Not anymore. I turned to her, stunned. You didn't want to lie to me, but you were sleeping with my husband? You invited me here to humiliate me. To hurt me. Her eyes glistened. No. I invited you here because I wanted you to hear the truth in a place full of love. I still love you, Lila. But this baby matters. He deserves his father. I looked around, at the stunned guests, the decorations, the cake shaped like a pacifier. I wanted to scream, to destroy something delicate and beautiful. Instead, I walked. Out of the glass house, down the gravel path, heels crunching with each trembling step. I didn't look back. I didn't speak to either of them for weeks. Jacob tried. He left voicemails. Apology letters. One night, he sat outside my sister's house in the rain until she threatened to call the police. He claimed he didn't know Amelia was pregnant until a month ago, that he was just as shocked. I didn't care. I filed for divorce 2 days later. But the worst part wasn't Jacob. Not really. It was Amelia. The woman who had held my hand during panic attacks. Who had helped me choose my wedding dress. Who had shared dreams over midnight wine and cried with me when I miscarried 3 years ago. She had taken something irreplaceable. And worse, she had dressed it in celebration. I spent nights wondering why. Why she'd done it. Why she needed to tell me that way. I got my answer 3 months later. A mutual friend told me Amelia was posting baby bump photos with Jacob. Smiling. Nesting. He had moved into her apartment. They were playing house. I should have felt nothing by then. But betrayal doesn't fade that easily. It calcifies, sharp and cold, just under your ribs. I saw her once more. It was at the pharmacy. Her belly was huge, her glow dimmer now. She looked tired, but content. She froze when she saw me. Lila, she said softly. I walked past her. But she followed. Wait. Please. Just 5 minutes. I turned. You got what you wanted. A baby. A man. What else could you possibly need from me? Her voice cracked. Your forgiveness. I stared at her. For a long time. You didn't do this for love, I said. You did this because you wanted to win. And you dressed it up in baby clothes and pink balloons. Tears spilled from her eyes. I loved you, Lila. That never changed. Maybe, I said, but you loved the idea of taking something from me even more. She said nothing. And that was the end of us.